Hey all, Dwarflord here. Let's talk about the hardcore servers that seem to be on the horizon. We'll talk about the pros and cons of them. Though honestly, I've got a lot of really solid cons and downsides of the servers and a couple pros. So first, a pro would be that there'd be less griefing. Probably. There would also be, unfortunately, more incentive to grief. Right now, common griefing methods is dropping an infernal on you when you're low level. I had that happen to me. I didn't die. Somehow I managed to live, so that was cool. I didn't even realize I'd be able to appeal it at the time. But with the add-on works really good because those griefs, the add-on knows that it's a grief and it doesn't even flag you as death. You know, if you are attacked by a freaking devil sore at level 40 in a place that devil sores shouldn't exist, well, it's going to just say, hey, this doesn't add up. You're good. You're griefed. Or if there's some weird PvP flag thing that goes on, sometimes rogues like to sit in stealth on a flight master in Booty Bay. I did that once. You get appealed. And that could happen in an official server. Level a rogue to level 6, get stealth, go to Ratchet, take the boat to Booty Bay, flag for PvP, and you're going to get someone killed. And it takes you like an hour to do that. You could kill a level 40 plus character in Booty Bay, and it only takes you an hour. Yeah, all the guards aggro, the guards kill the player, and that's the end of the story. Like that would be the most common grief. Level a rogue, sit it on a flight master, and they're dead. They are dead, assuming they don't do left click for interact with target. Now the number one way to grief would be get to level 60, join the guild, join the raid team. Your friends, you're chumming, you do a couple raids, and then you wipe them. You pull a boss and all this trash and it's a shit show and the whole team dies or most people die. That's the number one grief. So would there be less griefing or more griefing with official servers? I could almost see more griefing because now there's real stakes. And let's not even talk about the Cthulhu beam. One pro of the official servers would be to get more people interested. A lot of people know about the hardcore servers, yet at the same time, a lot of people have no idea that even exists. I have people come to me all the time and say, hey, I watched your video and it said that classic area was really popping off. So I logged in and I clicked on, Bloodsail Buccaneers and, well, gosh darn it, they wouldn't play with me. They wouldn't invite me. They just ostracized me. There's all these hardcore people. And they didn't know. They picked a server, they logged in, and oh, why does everyone have the name HC in their name? Official servers would make the community be better known rather than sort of like a splinter group. Now this may seem controversial or it may be a viewpoint that you're just not aware of, but people like to roleplay. I know, it's crazy. But when role players have a community of hardcore players take over their servers, they don't like it. Though you could argue that the hardcore players chose Bloodsail Buccaneers because it wasn't really populated at the time. No one was really playing. Era did have populations on Whitemane, Mancrack, Firemont, Pyrewood Village, but many other servers, they were ghost towns. So in the hardcore players' defense, the people who used to play on Bloodsail Buccaneers and called it home, they were long gone. But I will say that role players, they sure are a dedicated bunch. On the Grobulus server, Roleplay PvP North America, there is a guild called Legacy. And that guild, a while ago, I think I made a little video about it. With 20 people, they down Ragnaros. That's how stubborn these hardcore players are. They 20-man Ragnaros. And now they have a full 40-man team, and they've cleared Blackwing Lair, and they've cleared AQ40. They're going to be progressing Nax. These are the same people I said, congrats on the rag kill, but you guys should just, close up shop and come over to Whitemane. Like, why are you guys punishing yourself like this? But here they are, like, powering through. That's role players for you. But that same mentality of steadfast role player, that exists on the hardcore servers, because there are non-hardcore players who play on the hardcore servers. They have their own role play guilds and they do stuff, but they're not hardcore. And you know what? Maybe the griefers are actually role players who are trying to take back their server. Maybe we should start to empathize with the griefers. Although one could argue that hardcore players are the craziest role players of them all. Because what they're doing is they're role playing as a character with one life. Giving the role players back their server to do whatever weird, kinky stuff that role players do. Could be considered a pro. Let's talk about some of the cons and concerns. A big one is disconnects. What about disconnects? Currently, a disconnect can be appealed if they're above a certain level. They don't happen often, but they can happen, and that is a crappy way to die. I know in Diablo 2 that a disconnect is death. And I guess it could also be the case in WoW Classic, but do we need to do that? I'm recalling a time when I was playing my hardcore character. I was doing the turtle escort in Tanaris. And I was doing the chicken escort. What, you've never been with 2 escorts at once? Anyways, the entire server crashed. Hundreds and hundreds of people died simultaneously. The world server just went down. I'm pretty sure at Blizzard, someone was sweeping and they unplugged the cable to the hardcore server. I don't know, but it just went down. But all those deaths got appealed. That wouldn't happen on a hardcore server. If the world server just went down, which happens sometimes, what if there was a DDoS? What if there was like an attack on the hardcore servers that caused disconnect? Maybe that's the ultimate grief. Hackers causing mass amount of death. I remember on the classic launch, it was Saturday. I had the day off. I was gonna get so much leveling done. Could hardly play. It was like there was just that DDoS attack. Another con or concern is that the hardcore community has a lot of rules and stipulations. I know that Blizzard has met with the developers of the hardcore add-on, but are they gonna kind of be more lax? Right now it's a very solo, self-found, sufficient, you can do a dungeon one time and one time only kind of deal. And people who want to make the engineering goggles, they got to get the leather from some. They either start as a skinner to get the leather, or they get it from fishing crates, and then they can make their goggles. And they have to plan ahead. Oh, if I want to do this quest, that quest takes a profession. Am I going to level the profession to get that one item that I need to be able to do that quest, like the frost oil and so on and so forth? It takes a lot of planning, but it is kind of cool. It adds an extra layer to the game. What about achievements? Right now in hardcore, if you get to level 60 naked by only punching, that's an achievement. Or what about never taking damage? That's something that's possible as a mage, and I believe as a priest, because you have a shield. Would those things be able to be tracked on an official server, or would they just be something that's self-imposed? Would you still need the hardcore add-on on the official hardcore server? That makes no sense. There's also achievements for really tough quests. For example, I was level 50 when I did Pawn Captures Queen, a really tough bug hive quest in Ungoro Crater with a lot of waves that spawn. And many people died there, but I didn't, and I got an achievement. Would the experience be made too easy? Would they kind of dumb it down because now you can trade? You can do as many dungeons as you want. Run dead mines till you got all the gear you need, and you can cruise, and it's easy peasy. Oh, you didn't get a cruel barb on your rogue? Run it 100 times if you need to. My final con slash concern is the timing. Right now, the hardcore guild on NA is doing awesome stuff. They've just killed Nefarian. But what if new servers come out? Would they still play on the server that they are now, or would they just stop and say, well, let's start fresh. We're gonna, who cares? Who cares? We killed Nef. We're gonna restart our progression on official server. It's kind of like if you're building a house of cards, you're almost done and your mom comes and says, can you move that to the other room? No, you can't. Just move this house of cards. And so what? Are going to transfer characters to the official server? That's a question we should all be having. That's a feels bad. Like what? The guild who has been at the forefront of progression, it's just bye-bye. So let me know what you think about my list of pros and cons here. This is based on my experience playing Classic Hardcore, and also the fact that I've been playing on Classic Era for like 19 months now, and I have a real vested interest in the health of Classic Era, both for hardcore and non-hardcore. And I'm just, I think, rightfully concerned about different changes that Blizzard might make. Season of Mastery was not executed properly. It burned out very quickly, like you buy a box of fireworks and before you know it, oh, we're out. Like, it was just the wrong timing. So is this the wrong timing, or is it the right timing? And are they just doing a hardcore server? Is there's going to be a hardcore server on Era? Okay, cool. Are they going to do fresh servers for Classic in general? I'm concerned about what that might do to the game and further dividing. I think a hardcore server only would be totally fine, but if they do hardcore and fresh softcore, then it's I think it might do too much of a divide. Maybe do hardcore, and then many months later, when Era is kind of in a different place, maybe we can consider a fresh server. I'm Sean Connery, but I'm just really wary and concerned about anything done too quickly, and this seems like it's moving real quick. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, please comment and subscribe, and I would love to chat with you. I'm streaming now most evenings on YouTube Live here right on this channel, so pop in and say hello. Dwarf Lord out.